In 2008, Primeval Series 2 hit our screens, and after Series 1 was a massive success, Character Options, the same people who make the Doctor Who action figures, were given the go-ahead to make a set of Primeval merchandise. Centre to this collection was the 5.5-inch scale action figure line, which ran for 2 waves, including characters and creatures from both Series 1 and 2 of Primeval. These figures were very much in the same vein as the Doctor Who figures, and the recent images released by Impossible Pictures show some of the original sample packaging that even used the 10th Doctor and a Slitheen as a stand-in. In this new mini documentary style series of videos, we'll be taking a deeper look at each individual action figure released and looking at how the merchandise was produced. Also, we'll be uncovering old footage that many would not have seen in years and investigating the unreleased line of Series 3 action figures. First up, we're starting at the very beginning, Wave 1. Wave 1 of the Primeval figures showcase Series 1's main protagonists and antagonists. The figures hit stores in late 2007, and the original figures retailed at around $9.99, a recommended retail price, due to each release containing not only a figure, but a range of extras. Sometimes these were accessories, small creatures, big creatures, or even double-packed figures such as Helen Cutter and Claudia Brown. One of the most sought-after figures was team leader Professor Nick Cutter, played by Douglas Henschel. He was first released with 2 Hesporornis and later repackaged with the translucent Anomaly. These are the figures we'll be looking at in today's review. The original packaging was inspired by the Anomaly shard design, including bold distinct colours and a window which allowed full view of the figures. The package was also resealable. The back of the packaging featured information on other releases. Outside of the packaging, you can see that the Nick Cutter figure is based on his iconic costume first seen in the first episode of Series 1. The figure contains a reasonably accurate face sculpt, which, despite being quite soft in areas, features enough detail to distinguish this as Douglas Henschel. His hair has been applied with some excellent paint applications, washing over the light blonde coloration with an almost grey-like tone. Looking at his jacket, it captures the off-coloured green perfectly, with all of the details of the pockets and buttons. It contains his risen lapels, which cover around his neck also. The jacket is detailed to hang loosely around Cutter's body, with some flexible plastic allowing for the jacket to sit naturally to the position you place the figure in. The trousers capture the light-coloured pale colour palette that is so infamously associated with Cutter's costume, and the shoes show signs of boot detailing around the edges. Overall, the figure has a good tonal paint application, and with some reasonably accurate sculpting to his real-life counterpart, I can't really fault it in this area. Posability-wise, the figure offers multiple points of articulation, with a swivel joint at the head, shoulders, and bicep and tricep. His elbow contains a 90-degree area of movement, whereas his hand spins all the way round. His waist contains full 360-degree movement, with articulation present at the hips, allowing the legs to move forwards and sideways. His quadricep also contains a swivel joint, and finally, the knee contains roughly a 90-degree range of articulation. It was around 2007-8 time that the company began adding this level of articulation to the Doctor Who range, so it was fantastic to see Primeval retaining this quality. Comparing them to other figures in the range, Cutter is rightly so one of the tallest of the human figures, whilst he comes in at a respectable height in comparison to some animals. Taking a quick look at the Anomaly now, you can see the design is an interpretation of the translucent shard nature of the Anomaly seen in the show. Small detailing of raised triangular shaping is visible, and an almost frosted-like glass texture is applied to the plastic. It creates an awesome effect when it catches the light, but isn't quite clear enough for us to be able to see action figures through the Anomaly very well. I always like to think of this accessory as more of an Anomaly frozen in the stage of opening, as the Anomaly Incursion playset contained the large electronic Anomaly. The version here features no electronics however, but still makes for a great display piece. Unfortunately, the majority of these that are available are stained and are losing their colourless nature, so if you do purchase one, keep an eye out for any discoloration. 2 Hesperornis were included in the other version of the Nick Cutter figure, and this was by far the rarest one available. I have personal memories of finding these figures in Argus almost 10 years ago now, and I was ecstatic. The actual figurines themselves hold a good likeness to how the creatures are seen on screen, even if only briefly. Distinct dark colorations, coupled with the underbelly peach and the deep red beak, means that these creatures are very aesthetically appealing. In Series 1 Episode 3, the Hesperornis were slightly larger in comparison to human size than they were in figure form, but overall, apart from the lack of no articulation, they are just great additions to the collection. They have got a bit of flexible leg movement, which means they can fall over pretty easily, but overall, they are nice additions, and despite some paint rub present, these are figurines that are 10 years old now, so of course, they have stood the test of time very well. So, to conclude, these action figures and accessories are excellent. They all contain great detailings, and Cutter particularly is a must for any Primeval collector. His iconic green jacket is by far his most infamous outfit, and he'd make a great addition to anyone's collection. If you're interested in Primeval merchandise, from time to time we will be selling some figurines and other memorabilia online, so we recommend visiting our website, following us on Twitter, Instagram, liking us on Facebook, and of course subscribing to us on YouTube to stay up to date with any news on items we are selling. We hope you enjoyed this opening to the series. If you have any suggestions on how we can improve the documentary format, comment down below. And if you did enjoy the video, we'd massively appreciate your support if you liked the video. Every single like, comment and view is appreciated, and we love to interact with fellow Primeval fans in the comments. So, thank you very much for watching, and remember to go through the anomaly and visit the Primeval site.